Today I'm going to be learning more about Germany by watching this video, the top 10 small cities in Germany. So yeah, I've learned about some of the bigger cities in Germany, and yeah, I wanted to know more about the smaller, maybe more underrated places, maybe the less visited places in Germany. If you're from Germany and you have like a favourite small city or town that you think is underrated, please recommend that. I mean, this place looks quite interesting in itself, just by the shape of these buildings and the way they're arranged. Quite a quaint little place. Let's check it out. And yeah, tell me what you think about these places. Tell me if you've visited any of them before. Let's watch.
Germany is such a diverse country when it comes to places to visit that it makes it so hard to decide where to go to first. Outside the massive cities like Berlin, Munich, or Cologne lie some pretty incredible places, and with Germany the sizes range so much compared to other countries. So I've thrown together my top 10 small German cities that really give you that old world feel, but in a new world setting. First though, make sure to subscribe to my channel with the button below, and then sit back, kick your feet up as we count down my top 10 small German cities.
Actually, I was just thinking, because I know like places like this are quite common in German cities and German towns, these little town centre type areas with this like traditional architecture, and I thought, like, got the sun shining there during the summer, this would be a great place to visit, just walking along here, stopping in at the cafes, restaurants. But what is the best time of year, do you think, to visit Germany? Because I know like some German cities and towns it's good to visit at Christmas for the Christmas markets and so on, but do you have a preference for the time of year that you enjoy the most in Germany? Is it summer, winter, spring and autumn? What do you think?
Starting our list off in at number 10 is Bremen. Located in northeastern Germany, just a touch south of Hamburg, Bremen is known for maritime trade with its connections to the North Sea via the River Weser that cuts right through the center of the city. Probably one of the larger entries on the list, Bremen still keeps it quintessential Germany with its amazing old town. And by far the best place to experience this is hitting up the Marktplatz, or Central Market Square. Here you can visit the imposing St. Peter's Cathedral and climb one of its 89-meter tall towers, marvel at the amazing architecture of City Hall and gabled houses, or get your picture taken with the Roland statue. Though making your way to the waterfront is an absolute must along its restored promenade with summer beer gardens and restaurants to fill your belly. Whichever one you decide is going to be great, and you'll see why this city makes my list. Hanover takes...
Yeah, what I was going to say with that one especially, I thought like maybe Bremen would not be classed as a small city. I don't know the population, the geographical size of it. What I like about it is just how flat it is. Living in Asia, there's just skyscrapers in most big cities, just like covering the skyline, but here it's, I guess, kind of common throughout Europe, is just very low. Looks like a beautiful place. I was going to say, like, this part of it here, I noticed on one of the first frames or first clips, it's like this long part with just buildings on it. Tell me more about that. It's like very unique, very beautiful. I like how they've actually not just left it with nothing on there, built some nice houses, got a lot of greenery. This looks like some office type thing as well, so quite an interesting little area of the city, I think. Yeah, tell me if you're from Bremen, what's it like to live there? If you're not from there, you visited, what's it like? I just know the team Werder Bremen. I guess maybe that's their stadium over there, I'm not sure.
Hanover takes the number 9 spot as the capital.
I mean, even like that, like so much greenery as well. Is this actually like a park, a public park or something? That looks like quite a big, expensive building or old school building. Like, is this private property? What is this road up here as well? Like tree-lined pathway just cutting through this part of the city. I've never seen Hanover before, so this is my first time seeing it, but again, that's quite unique, I think.
Of Lower Saxony and the 13th largest city in Germany. With a splash of modern buildings in the skyline, Hanover might be leaning a little more on the not so quaint side, but I can assure you that it has its quaint draws just as much as the rest. Without question, the pride of Hanover and the reason it's on my list is the gardens. Yes, that's right, the gardens.
I mean, That's stunning. Is this something that's quite common in Germany? I feel like when I see these types of gardens in front of these big grand houses, it reminds me of France. I think these sort of things are quite common in France, but so well kept, so many like intricate designs and things like that. Yeah, that's beautiful. How square it is as well.
Herrenhauser Gardens and Georgian Garden are a sight to behold with impeccable landscaping. Over 50 hectares loaded with massive gardens, sculptures, fountains, a hedge maze, and of course, a palace to boot. It may not look like quintessential Germany, but it certainly makes me want to travel here. Oh, and I forgot to mention the massive new town hall that literally looks like a palace with a huge dome, an observation deck, and a nice little lake sitting out back. Coming in at number 8 is Leipzig. Inching closer to Berlin on the east side of Germany, we'll find one of the more modern entries on the list. But I assure you, the old town and history really packs a good punch for German flair. Located in Saxony, Leipzig proudly houses one of the oldest universities in Europe with Leipzig University, and without question their claim to fame, the St. Thomas Church. Here you'll find the burial site of Johann Sebastian Bach, you know, the famous composer. You can also check out the choir that sings here, which is notably one of the most prestigious choirs in the entire world. And if music isn't your thing, then by all means take a wander down to the Market Square, a great place to catch up with friends and enjoy some of the many festivals put on, like the Christmas market or a medieval festival complete with actual jousting. Or if you're keen on architecture, the Old Town Hall is also right at the market, which is considered to be one of Germany's best examples of Renaissance architecture. Or hop over to the New Town Hall and climb the tower for a panoramic view of the city. Either way, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with this location.
So many cool market squares in these cities. It feels like every city or town has one, and it's like all very well kept and like a place that people want to go and visit. Like I guess in Glasgow, where I'm from, we have one called George's Square, but it never feels like it's a place you need to visit, as opposed to in Germany. It seems like all of these would be one of the main places if you go to any of these places that you would need to or want to visit. What is the best market square or town square in Germany, do you think, or the most interesting?
Number 7 is one of the larger cities on the list, and this slot goes to Dresden. The capital of the Saxony state is less about tall buildings and more about preserving its history. You can easily tell by the skyline that Dresden offers some pretty incredible architecture and plenty of attractions to take in, which has given this city the nickname the Jewel Box. Much, if not all of Dresden was destroyed in the war, and along with it some incredible buildings, with the Frauenkirche being one of them. Rebuilt by 2005 with one of Europe's largest domes, it's an amazing piece of architecture to see.
Yeah, so that's like obviously only known, not only, but learning about Dresden when I'm at school is about how it was destroyed in the war, but like to see it like this, stunning. But how have they managed to recreate these buildings so perfectly? Like is it like based on what was there before? Were these partially there and they've rebuilt the rest of it, or how have they actually went about that? Because it looks obviously very old architecture, but it's like stunning as well. It's like a really like beautiful place looking at it from this angle.
A day spent here will leave any visitor satisfied, along with places like the Semperoper, one of the world's most respected opera houses, Zwinger Palace with its rich pavilions, fountains and gardens, and of course Bruhl's Terrace, overlooking the Elbe River that also connects to the massive Dresden Cathedral. Located directly between Frankfurt and Nuremberg in the state of Bavaria, we find our number 6 spot of Verdsburg. Known as the center of the Franconian wine country, Verdsburg is where we start to jump into what I like to call the more traditional German cities. From high up on the hill, you can scan the entire city at Nuremberg Fortress, a castle built in the 1200s that has stood the test of time and a great place to start your adventures. And from here you'll easily pick out the Alte Mainbrücke, or Old Main Bridge, which is a lovely pedestrian-only bridge that screams medieval Germany and connects the old fisherman's quarter with the old town. A place where you can walk the old streets or find a fantastic square with cafes and the Grand Marienkapelle. This place would be an absolute gem to have even a one-day stay over in. A little further west of...
Yeah, I like that pedestrian bridge because I mean, the fact it's a pedestrian-only bridge makes it cool in itself, but if the way it looks like, probably exactly as it has for a long, long time, is so good. It's what I like about these places in Germany, is how well kept they are, how they keep that traditional look, but still keep it like pristine and so nice. I guess, yeah, a lot of European countries do have that. Living in Asia, I feel like not every place, but a lot of places are just so quick to get rid of the old buildings, build new modern places, and it just takes away so much heart from it that you see in abundance here in these German towns.
Frankfurt,
German
we
cities.
sail up to number 5, Boppard. Definitely a smaller town located on the banks of the River Rhine, but really a cool spot to visit. Known as a tourist spot and a wine growing area, Boppard attracts many tourists, and clearly the best way to get here is by a river cruise if you can spare the time. Views of the town are a must, and there's no better place than Verdsburg, or Four Lakes View, which sits 332 meters above the river, offering amazing views and a paved hiking path. If you're feeling adventurous though, there's a 2-seater chairlift that operates from April to October, providing some incredible views throughout the 20-minute ride to the top. Something that I would like to take on the way up and then maybe hike my way down. That way you can save your legs for exploring the Old Town, which boasts some incredible streets, traditional German architecture, fortified medieval walls to explore, and of course a great square to enjoy the afternoon and take it all in. Let me know in the comments if this place would be a great weekend destination.
For sure, man. That view looking down at it on the river.
Number 4 for Bamberg, another Bavarian town just north of Nuremberg. Laid out over 7 hills, Bamberg has a wide reach, but offers a really awesome atmosphere when looking for that quintessential German feel, which has labeled it with being one of the most beautiful towns in all of Germany. Here you'll find Europe's largest intact old city wall and some amazing medieval streets that are begging for exploration. The most popular photo op in the town is the Old Town Hall, which is built on its own island and offers incredible views on the outside, but also some amazing frescoes on the inside. Throw this in with the Bamberg Cathedral with its priceless pieces of art, and the banks of the River Regnitz with its lovely fisherman's quarter and river cruises, and you can't go wrong with a stopover in this location. Finally, we find ourselves at the aforementioned Nuremberg, taking up the number 3 spot. The second largest city in Bavaria, behind Munich, Nuremberg still absolutely makes you feel like you're in a quaint German village, which is likely due to the red-colored rooftops that completely cover the city. With plenty to see throughout the entire city, the Old Town is what puts Nuremberg on this list.
So much nice, beautiful places, like these little rivers that go through these towns, that like combined with the architecture and the way you can just walk all through, it's just so picturesque. Yeah, Germany very blessed with these places. I guess not just blessed, but you got to have like so much respect for whoever makes the decisions to just keep these places looking so good.
With the Kaiserberg Castle dating back to the 14th century, including an amazing observation deck for the perfect vantage point, or the awesome hidden square, the Trottel Market, a beautiful area situated on its own island with easily the best views and photo spots for any tourists. Even just a wander along the canal edges will be enough to keep you happy in this city. I mean, just look at all those bridges. Located between Stuttgart and Frankfurt, we find our number 2 spot, Heidelberg. Now you can't tell me this isn't classic Germany, right? Nestled on the Neckar River, Heidelberg is absolutely a place to wind down for a day or two and give you that much needed rest. The 14th century Heidelberg University, which is the oldest one in Germany and one of the most reputable in Europe, enrolls roughly a quarter of the entire town's population, which is crazy considering the population is well over 150,000 people. Heidelberg is ripe with history and amazing attractions to go along with it. 80 meters above the town is the Schloss Heidelberg, a castle first constructed in the 13th century that has seen its fair share of destruction over the years, but still offers some incredible history paired with some amazing views. Don't skip over the river, rather take your time on the old bridge, which doesn't seem like anything out of the ordinary, but being 200 years old and actually the 9th bridge to span the river due to poor construction and ice flows of the previous 8, it really is a cool attraction. Finish off your day with time in the downtown core and check out the Church of the Holy Spirit and, more notable, the Altstadt, which is the lovely square with all the fixins of a great afternoon bite and a few evening drinks as well. Clearly this is where you'll find me. Topping off my list at the number 1 spot is the beautiful town of Rotenberg ob der Tauber, or just simply Rotenberg. Located in northern Bavaria and situated between Nuremberg and Stuttgart, the town is known for its medieval charm and architecture and is one of the smaller entries on the list.
Yeah, again, like surrounded by that,
its medieval charm,
that wall as well, walled city. These places are the mostly tourists, like people actually live here. What's the sort of types of jobs people would have living in a place like this? Is it mostly just tourism? Is there any sort of business here? It's just so picturesque that you feel like it would be just mostly tourists coming to a place like this. But what else goes on around places
and
like
architecture, and is one of the smaller entries on the list. The Old Town is one of the best preserved medieval ones around, making it a massively popular place for tourists, especially because it's also included on the lovely romantic road throughout southern Germany. Today it's still one of the only 3 towns in Germany that have a completely intact city wall with loads of cool gates strategically placed throughout the town, which are awesome to check out. By far the most famous photo opportunity here is the Plünlein, with its incredible Pinocchio Disney vibe and really gives you that old school German atmosphere. But to get a great feel for the city, you have to head to the Market Square and Town Hall in Old Town. This spot is where you're going to remember this town and really enjoy yourself every day you're here. Okay, now that you've got my top 10, let me know what yours is.
I mean, that's just the small cities. Like, again, I'm sure there's probably actually a lot more than that as well. I mean, some people might say some of those were going more towards the bigger size cities, but just so much heart in these cities. Amazing architecture. They look so clean and tidy as well. Like, I feel like in the UK we don't really have places like this that just hold on to that older architecture and respect it so much. But so nice, love it. Tell me your favourite from these. Is there any other underrated small cities in Germany that you would recommend? Tell me more about them as well. Thanks.